Have you ever wondered why owls seem so mysterious, while eagles look like the kings of the sky? Have you ever thought about what would happen if two of nature's deadliest birds became lifelong enemies? And what if this silent war has been going on for millions of years, right above our heads? Welcome back to Echoes of the Wild, where nature speaks louder than words. If you love discovering the hidden battles, strange creatures, and unbelievable stories of the wild, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an adventure. For millions of years, the skies belonged to one ruler alone. Not eagles, not hawks, owls. Long before humans existed, before giant mammals walked the earth, owls were already dominating the skies like silent predators from another world. Their sharp talons, massive wings, and terrifying hunting skills made them almost unstoppable. Back then, there was no real competition. The air itself belonged to them. Ancient fossil discoveries reveal that early owls were far more aggressive than the ones we know today. Some were built like flying tanks, with oversized claws powerful enough to crush struggling prey instantly. These were not gentle nighttime birds sitting quietly in trees. They were brutal hunters. For nearly 24 million years, owls ruled without challenge. Then everything changed. Around 36 million years ago, a new predator entered the skies: eagles. From the moment they appeared, the balance of power began to shift. The earth itself was changing at the time. Forests slowly opened into grasslands and wide landscapes. Prey animals moved differently. Survival became harder. And eagles were perfectly designed for this new world. Unlike owls, eagles hunted during the day. Their eyesight was extraordinary. They could spot movement from incredible distances while soaring high above the ground. Suddenly, owls were no longer the only predators controlling the skies. A war had begun. But this wasn't a loud war. It was a silent evolutionary battle that lasted millions of years. Owls slowly adapted to survive the pressure. Their bodies changed. Their feathers became softer and quieter, allowing them to fly almost silently through the darkness. Their eyes grew larger for seeing in low light. Their hunting style transformed completely. Eagles may have taken control of the daylight, but owls became masters of the night. And honestly, that might have made them even more dangerous. Modern owls still clash with eagles in shocking ways. Some owl species steal eagle nests before the eagles even finish building them. Imagine returning home only to find another predator already living inside your house. That actually happens in nature. Great horned owls are especially feared for this behavior. They are bold, aggressive, and surprisingly ruthless. In some cases, eagle chicks disappear after owls move into nearby territory. Nature can be incredibly brutal when survival is involved. But the strangest part of this rivalry is that owls may actually be winning. Today, there are around 250 owl species across the world. Eagles? Only around 68 species. Owls adapted faster. They spread across forests, deserts, mountains, and even cities. While eagles often require large open territories, owls learned how to survive almost anywhere. Sometimes the true winner isn't the loudest or most powerful creature. Sometimes it's the one that quietly adapts while everyone else fights for attention. And just when you think this rivalry couldn't get stranger, another bird enters the chaos. Ravens. Ravens constantly steal food from both eagles and owls. They harass them, mob them in groups, and even sabotage nests. Imagine two warriors fighting each other while a clever thief keeps stealing from both sides. That's basically what ravens do. In some areas, ravens steal huge portions of eagle kills before the eagles can even eat properly. They turn the entire sky into complete chaos. But now, after millions of years of rivalry, both owls and eagles face something far more dangerous than each other. Humans. Forests are disappearing. Hunting grounds are shrinking. Climate change is disrupting prey patterns and migration routes. Roads, cities, and power lines are turning deadly for birds that once ruled untouched skies. And for the first time in millions of years, the greatest threat to these predators is no longer another bird. It's us. The real question is no longer who wins the war between owls and eagles. The real question is whether future generations will still see these incredible hunters soaring through the skies at all. And honestly, a world without owls or eagles would feel strangely empty. So what do you think? If you had to choose one, ultimate ruler of the skies, would it be the silent owl or the powerful eagle? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into nature's oldest rivalry, don't forget to subscribe to Echoes of the Wild for more unbelievable stories from the natural world. But let's go deeper, much deeper, because this war between owls and eagles isn't just a simple story of day versus night. It's a million-year arms race written in bone, feather, and instinct. To truly understand it, we have to look at the anatomy of each predator, as if they were living weapons forged by evolution itself. Consider the eagle first. The bald eagle, the golden eagle, the harpy eagle, each is a masterpiece of daytime destruction. An eagle's eyes are so powerful that they can spot a rabbit from 2 kilometers away. Their retinas have twice as many light-sensing cells as human eyes, plus a special pit called the fovea that magnifies what's directly ahead. But that's not all. Eagles also see ultraviolet light. That means they can detect the urine trails of small mammals glowing against the ground like neon signs. A rabbit hiding in tall grass might as well be wearing a strobe light. Eagle's eye guns. Talons are curved daggers of keratin. The golden eagle can exert pressure of nearly 750 pounds per square inch with each foot. That's enough to shatter a monkey's skull or crush the spine of a fox. Their beaks are hooked for tearing flesh, and their wings are broad but powerful, designed for soaring on thermal currents without wasting energy. An eagle can spend hours circling at 3,000 meters, scanning everything below with surgical precision. Then, when it spots its target, it folds its wings and dives at speeds exceeding 200 kilometers per hour. The strike is almost always fatal. Now compare that to the owl. Owls are built for an entirely different kind of killing. Their eyes are tube-shaped rather than round, fixed in their sockets like binoculars. They can't roll their eyes like humans can. Instead, they evolved the ability to turn their heads up to 270 degrees, more than 3 times what any human could manage. Their neck has twice as many vertebrae as a giraffe's, with special blood reservoirs that keep the brain alive even when the head rotates violently. That's not magic. That's evolution solving a mechanical problem with terrifying elegance. But the owl's real superpower is silence. Most birds create noise when they fly because air rushes over their feathers and creates turbulence. Owls have comb-like serrations on the leading edge of their primary feathers, a fringe on the trailing edge, and a velvety surface everywhere else. These 3 adaptations work together to break up sound waves before they form. A barn owl flying directly at a mouse makes less noise than a falling snowflake. The mouse hears absolutely nothing until the owl's talons are already closing around its body. And those talons? In many owl species, they are asymmetrical. One foot can grip differently than the other, allowing the owl to perch comfortably, but also to crush prey from multiple angles. The great horned owl's grip strength has been measured at over 500 pounds per square inch, not far behind an eagle's. But the owl delivers this force in near total darkness, using hearing so precise that it can locate a mouse rustling under a foot of snow. An owl's facial disc acts like a satellite dish, channeling sound toward its asymmetrical ear openings. One ear is slightly higher than the other, allowing the owl to triangulate sound in 3 dimensions. It doesn't need to see its prey. It just needs to hear it breathe. So who would win in a direct fight? Surprisingly, we don't have to guess. Wildlife biologists have documented dozens of real encounters between eagles and owls. The outcomes are shocking. In 2015, a hiker in Montana photographed a golden eagle and a great horned owl fighting over a carcass. The eagle was larger, with a longer wingspan and greater weight, but the owl attacked from below, flipping upside down in midair and raking its talons across the eagle's belly. The eagle screamed and retreated into the trees. The owl ate alone. In 2020, a trail camera in Finland captured a Eurasian eagle owl, one of the largest owl species on Earth, ambushing a white-tailed eagle at dusk. The eagle had been resting on a low branch. The owl struck so hard that both birds tumbled to the ground. When the camera stopped recording, the eagle was dead. The owl flew away with part of the eagle's wing still hanging from its beak, but eagles win too. In Alaska, bald eagles have learned to hunt snowy owls during the summer, when the Arctic sun never fully sets. Without darkness to hide in, the snowy owl loses its main advantage. Eagles have been seen diving on snowy owls from above, striking their heads with such force that the owls are killed instantly. In one famous case from 2017, an eagle carried a dead snowy owl to its nest and fed it to its own chicks. These aren't rare anomalies. They are the front lines of a global conflict that plays out every single day on every continent except Antarctica, and yet neither side has achieved total victory. The war is a stalemate because the two predators have carved up the world between them. Eagles own the day. Owls own the night. Their territories overlap only in the brief twilight hours of dawn and dusk, which biologists call the crepuscular conflict zone. During those few minutes each day, eagles are still waking up and owls are heading to roost. Tensions run high. Fights break out over nesting sites, food, and territory. And because both birds are capable of killing the other, these encounters are always risky. Most of the time, they avoid each other. But when resources are scarce, the truce breaks. What's truly remarkable is how this ancient rivalry has shaped the behavior of other animals. Small mammals like voles and mice have learned to listen for both eagle calls and owl calls. They react differently to each. An eagle's scream sends them diving into burrows. An owl's hoot makes them freeze in place, hoping their camouflage will save them. But some researchers have discovered that mice can actually distinguish between the hoots of different owl species. They are less afraid of screech owls, which are too small to eat them, than of great horned owls, which are deadly. That means mice are doing real-time risk assessment based on audio cues. Evolution has turned them into tiny battlefield analysts. Even songbirds have joined the conflict. Crows and jays will mob an owl during the day, screaming and dive-bombing, until the owl flees. But at night, those same songbirds hide silently in dense thickets, terrified of the very predator they harassed hours earlier. The shift in power is absolute and predictable, like clockwork. And then there are the ravens. Ravens are the wild card in this entire ecosystem. They are not as large as eagles or as specialized as owls, but they are smarter than both. Raven intelligence has been compared to that of great apes. They solve puzzles, use tools, plan for the future, and even hold grudges. In Yellowstone National Park, ravens have been observed leading wolves to elk carcasses, then waiting for the wolves to open the tough hide before stealing pieces of meat. That's not instinct. That's calculated manipulation. When it comes to owls and eagles, ravens use a different strategy: chaos. A single raven will deliberately harass a resting eagle, pecking at its tail feathers and screaming until the eagle takes flight. The eagle wastes energy chasing a bird it will never catch. Meanwhile, a second raven sneaks into the eagle's nest and rolls the eggs out onto the rocks. By the time the eagle returns, the damage is done. Owls fare no better. Because owls are silent flyers, ravens can't hear them coming. But ravens have exceptional eyesight, and they post sentinels. If a raven spots an owl roosting in a tree during the day, it will rally the entire local flock. 20 or 30 ravens will surround the owl, screeching and diving until the owl is forced to abandon its resting spot and fly into the open. In the daylight, with nowhere to hide, an owl is vulnerable. Sometimes the ravens will chase the owl for kilometers, driving it far from its preferred hunting grounds. This raven behavior has a name among biologists: mobbing. It's not unique to ravens. Many birds mob predators. But ravens do it with strategic intent. They remember individual eagles and owls. They target the same birds repeatedly, and they seem to take pleasure in the disruption. In one long-term study in Montana, researchers noted that ravens would sometimes abandon perfectly good food just to harass a passing eagle. The ravens weren't hungry. They were what scientists reluctantly call troublemakers. So where does that leave our two ancient rivals, trapped in a three-way struggle that has no clear winner? But here's the part that most nature documentaries don't tell you. Owls and eagles are not just rivals. Occasionally, they are also prey for each other. And occasionally, they are something even stranger: uneasy allies. In 2018, a wildlife photographer in British Columbia captured a series of images that went viral. The photos showed a bald eagle and a great horned owl sitting on the same fallen log, less than a meter apart, facing away from each other. Neither bird was attacking. Neither bird was fleeing. They were just sharing space. The photographer watched for 20 minutes. Eventually, the eagle flew off to the east and the owl flew west. No conflict, no tension. Just two apex predators acknowledging that the fight wasn't worth it that day. Why would natural enemies tolerate each other? The answer probably involves a third threat. In that part of British Columbia, ravens are abundant and aggressive. Both eagles and owls lose eggs and chicks to ravens every year. By sitting near each other, the eagle and the owl may have been sending a message to the ravens. If you come near, you'll have to deal with both of us. It's not friendship. It's a temporary non-aggression pact in the face of a common enemy. That's the hidden complexity of nature. We want simple stories. The noble eagle versus the mysterious owl. The king of the sky versus the ghost of the night. But the real world is messier. Eagles sometimes act cowardly. Owls sometimes act lazy. Ravens act like gangsters. And all of them are just trying to survive in a world that changes faster than evolution can keep up. Which brings us back to humans. The most dangerous predator on Earth. Not because we have talons or silent flight, but because we have chainsaws and bulldozers and climate systems spiraling out of control. Consider the spotted owl of the Pacific Northwest. For decades, this species has been locked in a desperate struggle not with eagles, but with loggers. Old-growth forests, the spotted owl's only home, have been reduced by more than 80%. The owl's population has crashed. So hard that biologists now consider it functionally extinct in parts of its former range. And here's the tragic irony. The main competitor pushing the spotted owl out of its remaining territory isn't an eagle, it's another owl. The barred owl, which is larger, more aggressive, and more adaptable, has moved west from the Great Plains and is now displacing spotted owls from their own nests. Humans changed the landscape, and that change allowed one owl to conquer another. Eagles have their own human-made nightmares. The bald eagle came close to extinction in the 20th century due to the pesticide DDT. The chemical caused eagle eggs to become so thin that they broke under the weight of the incubating parent. By 1963, only 417 nesting pairs remained in the entire lower 48 states. The bald eagle, the symbol of the United States, was on the verge of vanishing. It survived only because humans banned DDT, protected nesting sites, and spent millions of dollars on captive breeding programs. The eagle's comeback is one of conservation's greatest success stories. But the bird is still far from safe. Lead poisoning from ingested shotgun pellets kills thousands of eagles every year. Wind turbines, power lines, and vehicle collisions add to the toll. And climate change is already shifting the ranges of the fish that eagles depend on. So who really rules the skies? Not the eagle, not the owl, not even the raven. We do. Humans have become the invisible hand that guides every aspect of these birds' lives. We decide which forests get cut and which get protected. We decide whether a river is clean enough to hold fish. We decide through our carbon emissions whether the seasons arrive when they should. The ancient war between owls and eagles continues, but it now plays out on a battlefield we have shaped. That's a heavy thought. But it's also an inspiring one, because if we caused the problem, we can also fix it. Conservation efforts around the world are proving that humans can shift from destroyers to protectors. In India, the critically endangered great Indian bustard is being saved by underground power cables that prevent collisions. In Scotland, white-tailed eagles have been successfully reintroduced after being hunted to extinction. In the American Midwest, farmers are planting buffer strips along fields to create hunting grounds for barn owls, which control rodent populations naturally. These are small victories, but they add up. The real question is whether we want to win. Do we want a future where children can look up and see an eagle circling against the clouds, or hear the low hoot of an owl drifting through the trees at dusk? Or are we willing to let these creatures become ghosts, remembered only in old stories and faded videos? The choice is ours. It has always been ours. And the clock is ticking. So the next time you walk outside at night, pause for a moment. Listen. If you're lucky, you might hear the distant call of an owl, a sound that has echoed through the darkness for 50 million years. And if you look up during the day, Scan the horizon. That dark shape riding the thermals could be an eagle, continuing a bloodline that survived ice ages, asteroid impacts, and the rise of humanity. They are still fighting their ancient war, but now they need us to be better than we have been. What do you think? If you had to choose one ultimate ruler of the skies, would it be the silent owl or the powerful eagle? Or have the ravens already won without anyone noticing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into nature's oldest rivalry, don't forget to subscribe to Echoes of the Wild. Hit the bell icon so you never miss another story, because the wild still has secrets to tell, and we are just beginning to listen. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, stay wild, and remember, every time you look up, there's a story happening right above your head.